So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another lecture of our subject field theory. So, in our last lecture, we had discussed about the Gauss law. We'll continue with that, and we'll see what are its applications, how we can do that, and our first equation of Maxwell's, which comes from the Gauss law. So today we'll see all those things. So before starting, I would say that I hope you people are following all those lectures, and I'm expecting all of you to go through all the things which we had shared, isn't it? Okay, but as far as my experience is concerned, I can say that you are not following the lectures with me. You know, it is becoming cumulative. If you'll see those lecture on a regular basis, I must have encountered with some of your doubt, but I did not get any doubt yet, apart from some doubts in doubts clearing session. But I was expecting more to ask. I was expecting more student to ask few more doubts, which I intentionally ask and which I intentionally left for food for thought for you people. Okay, so watch each and every lecture and come with your doubts or come with your suggestions. Okay, come with your ideas. Okay, so back to our lecture. So what we had discussed in Gauss law. So Gauss law states that the electric flux passing through any closed surface is equal to the total charge enclosed by that surface, as I have mentioned in the slide also here. So we had a closed surface, the total fluxes which are coming out from that surface, that is equal to whatever the charge that surface had. So that is equal to the charge. Okay, I mean एक सिंपल सा लॉजिक है, जितना चार्ज होगा उतनी ही फ्लक्स निकल सकती है, isn't it? That's what Gauss says. So we had seen the mathematical part of this. Psi is equal to psi is the flux, which is equal to charge, and we had established the relation surface integral of d dot ds. What was d? D was electric flux density. Flux density unit कूलाम पर मीटर स्क्वायर. डिफाइन कैसे किया था? हाउ डिड वी डिफाइन डी? फ्लक्स प्लस पर यूनिट एरिया. टोटल फ्लक्स पर यूनिट एरिया इज electric flux density, isn't it? Okay, so there are some conditions. Suppose that closed surface is having n number of charges, q1, q2, q3, 4, q4, qn. Then what? Then we will add all those charges, the magnitude of all those charges, and then the flux will become equal to that sum of those charges. Fine. So the total flux which are coming out, with that will be equal to the sum of those charges. Whatever number of charges we are having, sum of all those charges will represent the total flux. Okay, suppose the charge whatever lies in that inside that closed surface is of line charge. Okay, what suppose that is having that is a line charge. So can we write that line charge in terms of line charge density, rho l? Everybody remember, no, what the types of charge or charge distribution we had defined: point charge, line charge, surface charge, and volume charge. Point charge, charge or charge distributed or charge on a point, that is point charge. Okay, line charge, charge distributed over a over a line. Okay, and how did we define line? Line charge density, charge per unit length, that is rho L. Definitely, similarly, charge per unit surface area is called surface charge density. Okay, and charge distributed over the sheet, that is called surface charge. Similarly, volume charge, charge distributed on a volume, is called volume charge, and charge per unit volume is called volume charge density, rho v. Everybody remember, no? So we can equate all of those things. I mean, we can charge can have any charge distribution, whether it is point charge, line charge, surface charge, or volume charge. Okay, so we can write surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q, that is in the form of point charge. We can write surface integral of d dot ds is equal to line integral of rho L dl, that is in the form of line charge. We can write surface integral of d dot ds is equal to surface integral of rho s into ds in the form of surface charge. And at last, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho v dv in the charge in the form of volume charge, isn't it? So we can write, we can equate this d dot d surface integral of d dot ds with any of the charge distribution. Fine. Okay. One important thing which I am discussing is Gauss law, and remember, this is a sure short question which will be asked in your midterm, and in the finals also. Finals also, it is always, I mean, every year they ask state and prove Gauss law. Okay, so you must know what to write, what not to write. Okay, so this is the thing which you have to know and you must know. Okay, so that will be the Gauss law. We'll see how can we prove this Gauss law. Okay, so Gauss law will take a point charge. Okay, will take a point charge, and as I earlier said in the last lecture also, what we need a closed surface. So we are assuming, wait, we are assuming that this charge distribution or this point charge is kept at origin, and an imaginary sphere, and an imaginary sphere is, it encloses the point charge. Okay, so in the form of in this figure you can see that there are I mean, in the figure it has shown only a cross section of this, but what you have to understand, that charge that point charge is enclosed or surrounded by a imaginary sphere. Okay, we'll take a sphere because it is geometrically I mean, we can find out its area and all, so we'll take its geometrically symmetrical. Okay, so, and for that we are having a specific coordinate system, that is spherical coordinate system, and easily we can find out what the this it's ds and everything. So first of all, the I mean that the surface area, the differential surface area which we are considering in the surface of that imaginary sphere, that will be of ds. Okay, and the line which joins point charge, which is kept at origin, to that surface area, differential surface area, will be equal to the radius of that imaginary sphere. Fine. Okay, so the direction will be, the direction of this d will be different, I mean the direction of flux density will be which one? Along the radius, isn't it? Okay, so we will take the differential surface area in which the unit vector is pointing towards AR, I mean towards the radius vector, okay, which is evident from the spherical coordinate is equal to r square sine theta d phi, okay, which is equal to r square sine theta d phi. Fine. Now, and what is yeah, what is d? What is d for this? A point charge, it is equal to, we had calculated, no, which one? Q upon 4 pi r square in the direction of AR. So we'll take dot product of those ds and ds dot d, which is commutative, as you know, from the vector, okay. D dot ds or ds dot d is the same, that will be equals to ar dot ar will be 1 and d dot d ds cos theta. Fine. Okay, so what we can so from this we'll find okay, and we'll take the integral of this. Yeah, from this we'll take integral of this. Which integral? We are having d theta and d phi, that means surface integral, double integral. So we are having d theta and d phi. What is the limit of theta? Remember spherical coordinate, that is 0 to pi, and what will be the limit of phi, that is 0 to 2 pi. Remember, no, phi is the projecting plane. हाँ, एक पॉइंट होता था जिसको हम नीचे प्रोजेक्ट करते थे, एक्स जेड प्लेन के साथ एक प्लेन बनता था. एंड व्हाट इज थीटा? दैट हाफ कोन का हाफ पार्ट. रिमेंबर, नो? ओके, सो that will be after this mathematical calculation, as you can see here in the slide also, that it becomes psi, okay, which proves Gauss law. Okay, so it's simple. If we are multiplying, I mean this multiplying d dot ds will get q or flux. Fine. So this proves Gauss law. So you have to prepare this, state and prove Gauss law. What is Gauss law and its proof? Okay, I mean they generally ask this question with probability 1. Okay, with probability 1 means 100% question. Okay, so I mean everything is I mean most of the things which we are discussing and everything is important, but this is, I mean this is asked in general, they can ask in interview also. I mean you can encounter this law, Gauss law. I mean you will encounter this law in many times in your career. Okay, Gauss law you must know. Okay, and proof of this. So this is how we will prove Gauss law. What is Gauss law? It is the total flux coming out of closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. Charge can be of any distribution, point, line, surface and volume. Proof, you can use spherical coordinate, just cover that charge, uh, find out d, find out ds, just multiply it and you'll get this charge. Okay, so this is the proof. Now in application part, okay, not in application, first let me tell you how to determine d or e. Okay, I mean from the Gauss law, how to find e, especially electric field intensity. In Coulomb's law, how did we do that? See, first of all, we had calculated e, that is electric field intensity, Then what was the relation between D and E? D is equal to epsilon E. Okay, we had multiplied with epsilon, and that epsilon E, that is equal to D, flux density, isn't it? We'll do reverse of this. First of all, this is simple steps. You can put it on your fingers. First of all, identify D. What is D? Okay, identify ds. Then take a dot product, choose a Gaussian surface, simple, and equate it to charge q. That's it. Okay, then you'll get d, and if you are getting d, then you can divide that d with by epsilon. And most of the cases it is considered that this charge distribution is kept in free space or in air, so that epsilon becomes epsilon naught. Okay, then from this you can get E, electric field intensity. Fine, fine, हो जाएगा. Gauss law, कोई problem? No problem. Should we proceed? Okay, so in the application of Gauss law, okay, in the application part, what we can do with the Gauss law, it's a very, I mean, important and a versatile law. We can calculate, or we can find out, we can determine d, that is electric flux density, and E. Here it is not written E, but just if you have calculated d, just divide that d by epsilon, or epsilon naught in free space, so you'll get E. So we can determine D, that electric flux density, due to point charge, due to line charge, due to coaxial cable, how it behaves, D. Okay, in a surface charge, in a spherical cell. So all those charge distribution, okay, it is convenient to use Gauss law as compared to use Coulomb's law. You know why? What you need, you just need a closed surface. Whatever charge distribution you are having, okay, just cover that charge distribution with a closed surface. You can calculate. Just apply d dot ds is equal to q, and you'll get it. Simple step. Whatever charge, symmetrical, asymmetrical, whatever you are having charge distribution, just cover that charge distribution by a Gaussian surface or closed surface, which is called Gaussian surface, and equate it to q, that is d dot ds is equal to q, and you'll easily get d, electric flux density. Okay, and once you get electric flux density, you can calculate easily the electric field intensity by dividing d by epsilon, isn't it? Asan na? Easy है. Yes, of course. So are we done with the Gauss law and its application? Fine. So next comes the divergence theorem. So this theorem relates surface integral and volume integral. Okay, and it says, you can make a note of this. What is divergence theorem? Okay, the surface integral of any vector is equal to the volume integral of divergence of that same vector. हाँ, according to divergence theorem, किसी भी वेक्टर का सरफेस इंटीग्रल उसी वेक्टर के डाइवर्जेंस के वॉल्यूम इंटीग्रल के इक्वल होता है. आर यू गेटिंग व्हाट आई एम सेइंग? ये सरफेस और वॉल्यूम इंटीग्रल को रिलेट करती है. दैट मीन्स डबल और ट्रिपल इंटीग्रल को रिलेट करती है. एंड इट सेज दैट surface integral of any vector is equal to the volume integral of divergence of that vector. Fine. Now you'll get I mean, lots of application of divergence theorem. Okay, while doing, while establishing the relation and other things, you have to use and you must use this huh? Divergence theorem. And sometimes without this theorem, it is not possible to go ahead, isn't it? So that's the divergence theorem. Fine. I'm repeating again. किसी भी इंटीग्रल का सरफेस किसी भी वेक्टर का सरफेस इंटीग्रल उस वेक्टर के डाइवर्जेंस के वॉल्यूम इंटीग्रल के इक्वल होता है. सिंपल. रिलेट्स डबल एंड ट्रिपल इंटीग्रल, दैट इज सरफेस एंड वॉल्यूम इंटीग्रल. Okay, so now the time of our first equation, Maxwell, है ना. So what we say, we know from the Gauss law, what we know, that surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q, है ना. Can you define this? What is surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q? The surface integral of electric flux density is equal to the total charge around. That means the surface integral of d dot ds is equal to q means the surface integral of electric flux density is equal to the total charge. Okay, and I earlier said we can use any of the charge distribution. Okay, suppose we are having the volume charge distribution. Can we write q is equal to volume integral of rho v dv? Yes, of course we can write. Equate these two equations. What we will get? Surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho v dv. This is what we will get. No, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to the volume integral of rho v dv, isn't it? Okay, now apply divergence theorem. Okay, until unless you'll do it in your paper, no, it will be difficult to understand. Okay, just how we are deriving this Maxwell's equation from Gauss law, you have to do it in your paper. Okay, and in our first lecture itself we had instructed, okay, and we had discussed that everybody will have a paper and pen while watching this lecture. Okay, and I'll see to it once we'll meet physically in a class. So I'll see what notes you have written while watching my lecture. So coming back to this, so what we will get, surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho v dv, and we can apply this divergence theorem. So divergence theorem, which will convert this surface integral of d dot ds is equal to volume integral of rho del dot d dv, isn't it? And this becomes equal to volume integral of rho v dv. Now we can remove volume integral from both sides and we will get del dot d is equal to rho v. What we will get? Del dot d is equal to rho v, and this is our first equation of Maxwell, which says that the divergence of electric flux density is equal to the volume charge density. The divergence of electric flux density is equal to volume charge density in English. And what it says, it is also called the point form of Gauss law, which says that the divergence of electric flux density in a medium at a point, that is differential volume shrinking to zero as according to this slide, is equal to the volume charge density at the same point. Okay, whatever point we are taking, the divergence of flux density at that point is equal to the volume charge density at the same point. Okay, बड़ी सिंपल सी चीज है. इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स डेंसिटी का डाइवर्जेंस वॉल्यूम चार्ज डेंसिटी के बराबर होता है। ठीक है, सिंपल। The divergence of electric flux density is equal to the volume charge density. Fine. Okay, this is the point form of Gauss law and our Maxwell's first equation. कितने equations थे Maxwell's के? 4, isn't it? We had 4 equations which we had discussed in our first lecture. Okay, so we got one. First equation, del dot D is equal to rho V. कौन से लॉ से निकला है ये? गॉस लॉ से। This is also called point form of Gauss law. Maxwell's first equation is also known as point form of Gauss law. Take fine. So our Maxwell's first equation, del dot D is equal to rho V. और another word, यदि मैं D को change कर दूं electric field intensity E में, तो what I'll get? Del dot E is equal to rho V by epsilon. Why? Because D is equal to epsilon E, and epsilon is a constant, isn't it? You can get some questions from this also, where you'll be asked what I mean. There will be a D. They'll give you D and ask what is the volume charge density. You just need to find the divergence of that D and you'll get the volume charge density. Okay, and this is asked in various competitive exam also. Simple. Okay, so on a summary note, what we have seen, the Gauss law, the total flux coming out from a closed surface is equal to the charge enclosed by that surface. Its proof, first of all, its mathematical form, its proof. Okay, and how to determine D, flux density, and electric field intensity. Then what we had seen next, the application part, application of Gauss law. Next, divergence theorem, which relates double and triple integral, that means surface and volume integral. Then point form of Gauss law, that is Maxwell's first equation. Okay, which says that del dot D is equal to rho V. Fine. So this is what we had seen today. Coming back to exercise. So in exercise part, what you have to do, you just prove the divergence theorem. Okay, you just prove the divergence theorem. Okay, write one question. State and prove Gauss law and state and prove divergence theorem. Just 2 exercise for you for today. First of all, state and prove Gauss law, and you have to submit it. Okay, you state and prove Gauss law and state and prove divergence theorem. Fine, that will be the exercise for today. Fine. Okay, so thank you very much, audience, and I'll see you all in next lecture. Before that, we'll be having one doubt clearing session. So I am requesting, ordering, suggesting, whatever you want to understand, you can understand. Just come with your doubt, study and come with your doubt, then only you'll enjoy this subject. Okay, so happy learning.